Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we're sitting down doing a Celtic transfer talk which actually has some definite information. Celtic have made a signing, it's official, it's no rumours, it's no nonsense, it's no just, this came out one guy's mouth and it's now in my ear. No. This is official news. Celtic have completed the signing of BARKAS from AEK Athens. Celtic have got their hands on their new #1 goalkeeper, quite literally taking the #1 shirt. To many people's delight. This is the news that we've been waiting on now for the past few weeks. There's been a lot of questions, a lot of, rumours to what goalkeeper we would sign. There's been a lot of speculation. We were linked with the likes of Joe Hart, we were linked to the likes of David Marshall, we were linked to the likes of AJETI from St Mirren. There was a lot of names thrown out there, but all along, it was all leading to this moment. We have got our choice, our #1 choice, under Neil Lennon's eyes, behind a certain guy that we'll come on to, and I couldn't be more happy that the deal is actually over the line. We've got it finished. It's one tick off the to-do list. It's something that's done now. We don't need to worry about it anymore. We have got our depth at that area of the field, and I believe we've made a very good signing at that. This is a guy that we'll get into more in the video, but a guy that comes with a lot of, good footballing background. This is a guy that it's no nonsense. It's not a joke signing. This is someone who's played in the Champions League. He's played in Europa League. He's a Greek international. He gets, what Celtic is about, it seems, from his interview. I don't want to sit here and put words into the guy's mouth and make out that he's been a Celtic fan his whole life, but the fact that he's sitting down and already sitting there saying that he wants to be here for 10 in a row, it's fantastic. It's good news, and we'll come on to all of that as the video goes on. But it is official that BARKAS is now a Celtic player. We've been hearing over the past 48 hours that it was only a matter of time before it was announced. But it's good to get that security over the line. It's good to know there's no failed medicals. It's good to know that he is our player. Last year we had the whole situation with Turnbull, and, when something like this happens and they arrive in Glasgow for a medical, there is that bit of in the back of your mind, like, oh my God, what if he does fail a medical? What if he sits down and goes, no, at the contract? Nah, he's officially Celtic's #1 shirt. He will be the man in between the sticks for what will hopefully be the 10 in a row season, and I couldn't be more happy with that news. So, there's a few things to dive over before we get more into BARKAS himself. We're going to go through a bit of the background towards the signing and why I believe that this could be the best option for Celtic. Of course, I'm not going to sit down here and pretend that all along this was the goalkeeper that me and other Celtic fans wanted. We all had in our heads that Fraser Forster was going to be back here at Celtic this season. He was going to be the man who would be in between those sticks, ready to go and help us win 10 in a row, but things didn't work out like that. Fraser Forster came back for a year, rejuvenated his career, revived his chances of being an England international, and he's took that opportunity and he's ran. And we can't sit here and slate him as much as we'd like to. There is logic behind it. Fraser Forster never grew up a Celtic fan. He doesn't owe everything to Celtic. Of course, I would like to see a little bit given back to us after giving him that chance to revive his career, but he will be looking at the season he had and knowing he can go to the Premier League to make an impact in many of the bottom half sides if they were to sign him. He knows that there is a chance to be taken to the Euros with Gareth Southgate and the England squad next summer. There is a chance of him going to the World Cup in Qatar in 2022, and will he get that at Celtic? I can see why he's unsure and why he wants to take his chance at England. I'm also not going to sit here and pretend that I'm not disappointed. I'm very disappointed that he's not coming back to Celtic after that chance we gave him. After the offer was there to be part of a history-making side to win 10 in a row. It is very disappointing to see someone walk away from that after, several years being a Celtic player. But, he has elsewhere to be. In his head, he has other plans, and he's going to take that opportunity. So, in my eyes, I would rather go for the people who are willing. I'd rather have the people at the club who are willing to do the job, willing to be here for 10 in a row, and willing to give their all. And that is under BARKAS. If you've seen the interview, he sat down and said the chance to play for one of Europe's top clubs, he didn't want to pass down. He wants to be here for 10 in a row and he wants to win trophies. As I said in yesterday's video, to many Rangers fans, aggravation, I think this is a season we could potentially go on and win another treble. There's no reason we can't do that. And with a keeper of his quality and goals, there's even more a reason now. Now, Fraser Forster has been told by Southampton he might not be part of the plans, but there is no denying that teams in England will be looking at him. He could play for any of the top 6 clubs in England. David De Gea's had a howler for Man United. He could be better than De Gea. Kepa is questionable at times for Chelsea. Could be good in there. He could easily be a backup for any of those sides, but below the bottom six, he could play for any team of his choice in England. So fair play to Fraser Forster if that's what he wants to do, but we have got our man now, and I'm happy we've got him over the likes of Joe Hart. I'm happy we've got the likes of him over David Marshall. For a 4-year contract, this is a guy that hopefully will commit the next few years of his career to Celtic and fit right in, be part of the family, and give us the performances we need over the next 12 months. You know, this is going to be the toughest season in the history, the modern history of Celtic Football Club. We've never been in a position like this since from the early 70s. You know, 9 in a row, going for 10. This is something remarkable, something sensational, and there's a lot of pressure on every single player at Celtic. And the fact that BARKAS is loving that chance to play under that pressure and wants to be here to be part of that history is great. It's fantastic. I love to see it, and I think it'll be fantastic. But we don't know the figures to do with, you know, the money. We don't know if it is a £5 or £6 million deal yet, but the money had to be paid, and we had to go out and spend. We have to spend this summer. That's the reality of it. Peter Lawwell has to get the chequebook out. Rangers are going to continue to make signings. Rangers are going to continue to strengthen on the park. That's one thing that annoyed me about the video I made yesterday. When I done my league predictions, Rangers fans are coming for me. They want my head in a stick outside the Loudon. They're going to use my skin for an Orange Walk drum. But they're forgetting the fact that I did say Rangers are going to be no easy pushover this season. They'll be up for it if they understand the pressure of playing for a club like Rangers. 10 in a row is not going to be easy. That's why we need to spend money. We need to spend money very, very, wisely this summer. We should be bringing in the best calibre of player we can for the starting 11. Now, I believe in the outfield positions, we have probably got the best 11 we have. There's no many improvements. Probably just a left back now, and then we've got the perfect starting 11 for this season, I would say. So we can't take anything for granted, because even though I don't rate the signings Rangers have made, the pressure on those players to go and play and stop 10 in a row this season is catastrophic. It's a massive amount of pressure to play under, and they should understand how big a job they've got ahead of them. And that's why we need to make players to an international standard. We need to sign players to that standard. I know I'm waffling a lot in this video. I'm trying to rush to get things done, but it's a very good signing to make, and I have a lot of faith that he will be, it'll be hard to live up to what Forster gave us last season. Of course, a lot of people say Forster single-handedly won us the League Cup. Forster, made some incredible saves in the Europa League. The one that stands out to me is that one against Lazio in the final minutes of the game. Will we be able to play to that standard? We don't know. I mean, I'm sure with me and many other Celtic fans, we'll all agree we've not seen a lot of BARKAS. We've seen him play against Celtic a couple of times a couple of years back, but that's all. We've not seen much outside of that. We don't know what to expect, but he's coming in with, I think, 6'5", which is about the same height as Fraser Forster. He's coming in with that pedigree behind him of being a Champions League quality goalkeeper. I think that we're going to be in safe hands, if you pardon the pun. I think that between the sticks we should be fine. And as long as we don't have any howlers, the likes of Pickford and De Gea have been making down south, he's a real good, guy to have there for what is this season. Got to remember as well, this guy's only 26 and is on a 4-year deal, so we have pretty much got him at the prime years of his career, which is fantastic. I've always said that goalkeepers get better with age. I think that goalkeepers really show their best when they're in their late 20s, early 30s. This guy will be cracking for us. I have complete faith in him. And just to end off the video, a very quick talking point on the signing we were trying to make in Albion AJETI from West Ham. It seems that transfer is off after I was talking about it in the predictions video yesterday and the Celtic transfer talk video before that as well. It looks to be that is now off the cards. But there's a lot of talking points around that, and I could make a video on it itself, and I probably will touch on it more as we get into more links with strikers. But AJETI has apparently been told now that West Brom are looking on him, signing him. And for him, that's a Premier League move. And of course, a player who, once again, has no sort of allegiance with Celtic, hasn't grown up knowing what Celtic are or is, you're going to take a Premier League move over that. So it looks as though that transfer is now collapsed and it won't be happening, it won't be coming to Celtic. But if we learn anything from the friendly against Ross County the other day there, Leigh Griffiths looks fit, he looks sharp, he looks ready to go, and Klimala has scored 3 or 4 goals in pre-season as well. So maybe a striker isn't as big an issue as what it once was, now that we do have Griffiths back to what appears to be some form of decent fitness levels. I would still like to sign one, don't get me wrong. I don't think just because of that we should give up and take it, complacent and stop caring. But, it's probably not as big a worry as once it was, a few weeks ago. It is gutting because I did want AJETI to come into the club. I thought AJETI would have made a fantastic addition to the firepower we have got up front. It's a guy that scored 25 goals a season over in Switzerland. There was no denying he had quality there, so it is a bit gutting and it's not over yet. But if he has the chance to move to any Premier League club, whether it be West Brom or whether it be Manchester United, I'd imagine he'd take that because it's the best interest of his career. It has went sour for him at West Ham, so he wants to prove himself. He wants to get goals in the Premier League to perhaps go back to West Ham after a loan move and get a chance there. But it looks as though the move to Celtic will be off now. It's crumbled below us, and you know what? If it does, it does. We're still getting talked about in the papers and on the news with the likes of Ivan Toney and some other strikers. For me, we'll see what the time gives us. We'll see where it goes, and maybe sooner rather than later we will have another striker. But the main thing is we have got BARKAS. It is secured. I'm delighted with that signing. And there's more videos to come during the week. I know this one is a bit waffly. It's not the same standard as usual. Very busy today with podcasts and other stuff. So I just wanted to get a video out talking about what is, I believe, one of our top signings. One of our only signings of the season. But it will, no matter how many signings we make, this could be the key one. This could be the top one. We couldn't go into the season with Bain. No disrespect to you, Scott. Scott Bain, I do love you. You're a sound guy. But are you the 10-year-old quality goalkeeper we need? Nah, BARKAS should hopefully be that. Hopefully I'm not bigging him up to be something he's not. If you have enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. It is all appreciated. And I'll see you all next time.